I've been around the game for a very long time. I've made a lot of memories. I've made even more mistakes, and I've learned a lot of lessons. And I wish that I had these lessons when I was younger. What is good, everybody out there? Thanks again for checking in with Court Thoughts, the channel where we basically talk basketball. I never thought that I would actually write a book. I'm not gonna lie. It actually came up as a bit of an accident. I found my journal from my first season as a coach, and I took the time to read it and read a lot of the lessons that I had learned and some mistakes that I made. And there's a lot of like random notes in there, and some of those things were things like lineups and tactics or principles. And I also was thinking about other things that I have done to try and help me build my knowledge around the game. And that's literally what this whole channel is about, trying to build knowledge and spread love and awareness about the game of basketball, and it will always be that way. But one of the things that I've always found so gross, the egotistical nature that some people have out there. You know what type of person I'm talking about. The type of person who's like, nah bro, I'm never wrong. I know exactly what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? You're wrong. Nah, that's a dumb idea. I'm not even gonna think about it. Why would you even come to me with that opinion? We're gonna do it my way, even though it's not working. Nah, trust me, this works on my NBA 2K account, so I'm absolutely gonna try and apply it in a real life setting. I'm absolutely sure it's never going to make a mistake. If I make a mistake, I can always just restart the game, right? And that's literally what it's like talking to some people when it comes to the game. And through this frustration, amongst other things, I thought maybe I could share my learnings and my experiences and maybe help someone begin the journey a little bit easier than what I did. When I was younger, I was obsessed with trying to get as much information about the game to try and get better. I'm talking like I wanted to know how pros trained. I wanted to know little things that they did that helped them be more efficient, or ways that they did things that they thought worked best. I also used to get my hand, I would love to see if I can get my hands on the complete set, but there used to be these DVD series, and they were called Better Basketball, if I remember correctly. There was a Chauncey Billups edition, and then there was a Jason Kidd edition. And the details that I picked up in those videos, like, they helped me so much. And I wanted to try and apply this frame of thought to questioning things that were done in the game, and then also trying to get people to think about the game differently. And that's what really prompted me to write this book. The title of the book is called It's Not Working. It's a deep dive into the strategy and mindset and really questioning everything about the game of basketball. And that's because I was thinking about things that were done when I was younger. I was thinking about ways that people look at the game right now, and there's a lot of unwillingness to sort of challenge the game, and we're relying a lot on things like percentages or ratings to try and tell us information, but not actually thinking about, well, what can we do to be more efficient that actually contributes to the changing of those ratings. And a perfect example is thinking about things like the overall tactics and strategy in trying to win the game. Take the NBA, for example, and even here in Australia, a lot of the time we're relying on things like pick and roll actions to try and set up our game in winning. And I don't know necessarily that it's the best way to try and win games, but it is a way to be effective in putting points on the board. I use this as an example because there is a bunch of different things that people apply these blanket approaches and think that, no, this is the best way to play the game, so we're only going to play it that way. And some of my idols, specifically people like Zeljko Obradovic, challenge the way that things are done, and they look at things in these overall arching perspectives that inspired me. And I wanted to see whether or not I could help inspire someone else out there with my learnings and my lessons. The book was written from the perspective of a season, so it's the beginning path, it's the overall aspects of your team, and then it's actually reflecting on your performance of the team. I share a bunch of my principles and my approaches in the book about how I look at the game And a lot of these things are transferable not just from being a coach's perspective, but also from a player's perspective. I share my opinions and thoughts about strategies in ways to play the game, along with strategies and ways to plan how to apply minute contributions to players, but also in my approach to dealing with player dynamics, looking at things like ego, also thinking about ways that we can reinforce and build upon a season from various different angles. And I think that there's a lot that can be learnt from the game about how it's being played right now. And there's a lot that can be done to try and contribute to making the game even better. And that's what my goal is. And look, if one person reads it and it helps one person, then that's fantastic. And if you don't want to read it, don't stress, you don't have to read it. I also did an audiobook version. At the end of each chapter, it's done in a way where I share a little bit of background information about the inspiration, a little bit of extra detail about my thought process behind it, and even elaborate a little bit more on certain things from a personal perspective that it separates from the book. Because I don't know about you, sometimes I can pick up books and I can read them like, just get straight through it, don't even stress. And other times it's a slug. So I wanted to give you guys both options. I've done it as a digital PDF, so you can read through it on your phone or on your tablet or whatever. The link to the book is in the description below. It's over on my Patreon. And speaking about my Patreon, if you haven't joined the home team yet, consider doing so. I've actually got a bunch of content on there that has been a lot of fun in creating. It is very different and much more of a deeper dive than the videos that are currently available on my YouTube channel. But that's really what I've been doing for the last year and a half. It's been a big focus to try and get this done. I hope you can forgive the gaps in delivering some of this content, but I'm really excited to give you much, much more with a whole new, refreshed look over at the game. But listen, until I see you next time, make sure you're looking after yourself, you take care, and be safe. All right? Peace.